Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Cowboys projected to finally replace Amari Cooper opposite CeeDee Lamb. The Dallas Cowboys have struggled to replace Amari Cooper's production and his role in quarterback Dak Prescott's target hierarchy since trading the wide receiver to the Cleveland Browns in 2022. That might be about to change. As the Cowboys face significant salary cap concerns in the offseason ahead, and Brandon Cooks could be on the move, Dallas might be primed to select a wide receiver in the 2024 NFL Draft finally capable of replicating Cooper's success in Prescott's arsenal. Matt Miller of ESPN has the Cowboys selecting Florida State wide receiver Keon Coleman in his latest two-round 2024 NFL mock draft. Though Brandon Cooks made a big impact as the 2023 season progressed, Coleman writes for ESPN. Dallas has needed a running mate for CeeDee Lamb since trading Amari Cooper. Coleman, a 6'4", 215-pound receiver, had 11 touchdowns on just 50 catches in his lone season at Florida State following his transfer from Michigan State. He needs help separating at times, but facing the opposing team's CB2 would be light work given his size, catch radius, and toughness running through contact. Selecting Coleman with the number 24 overall pick would allow the Cowboys to move forward at receiver, without needing to absorb a massive extension for Cooks, while also getting younger at the position opposite the 24-year-old Lamb. Last season, as a junior in Tallahassee, Coleman caught 50 passes for 658 yards with 11 touchdowns, while showing he can stretch the field by averaging 13.2 yards per reception. Lamb is the Cowboys' most prolific wide receiver, but Dallas has spent the past 2 seasons looking for a consistent complementary weapon. Pro Football Focus views Coleman as a bit of a boom or bust proposition. Listed at 6'4" and 215 pounds, Sam Monson writes. Coleman has prototypical NFL size and a highlight reel of the most spectacular catches in this draft class. But the consistency has never been there, and there are several red flags in his evaluation that are going to lead draft analysts and NFL teams all over the map on him. He made some of the best contested catches you'll ever see last season, but he caught only 33.3% of those opportunities, down almost half from his previous campaign at Michigan State. The second red flag is that his production across the board has been middling at best, especially when compared to other top receiver prospects even just in this draft. Across 3 seasons, including 2 at Michigan State, Coleman caught a total of 115 passes for 1,506 yards with 19 touchdown receptions. His ball skills are special, Derek Klassen writes for Bleacher Report. He does an excellent job jostling for positioning with defensive backs before going up for the ball. When it comes time to get vertical, Coleman knows exactly how to track and pluck the ball at its highest point. He also has the strength to finish and come down with the ball almost every time. He is a real weapon in the red zone and other gotta-have-it situations. In addition to filling a major need on offense, the Cowboys also must find Dan Quinn's replacement as defensive coordinator this offseason. Following Quinn's departure to take the Washington head coaching job, Jerry Jones says he does not expect the Cowboys to struggle filling the role on head coach Mike McCarthy's staff. I don't anticipate that being an issue at all, Jones said, via the Cowboys' official website. If they take the job, they will be coordinator of the Cowboys. They would be looking at that right there and all that goes with that. If they're aspiring, they know there's a chance to be a head coach someplace, because the one that just left is. McCarthy is entering the final year of his contract, and the pressure to break a 29-year NFC Championship game drought in Dallas has never been higher. Jets interested in Cowboys' future Hall of Famer Tyron Smith? Trent Taylor? Or, as the New York Jets head into an offseason with a top priority of finding offensive line protection for quarterback Aaron Rodgers, what about Tyron? Everyone agrees that the Jets, as in 2023, are going nowhere fast in 2024 unless they can adequately protect the 40-year-old Rodgers. He was sacked on this season's 4th snap, leading to a torn Achilles and a season immediately flushed down the toilet and ultimately ending 7-10 and out of the playoffs. As the NFL mock draft season heats up, the Jets, who own the 10th overall pick, are already being linked to Oregon State offensive tackle Talise Fuaga. He possesses the size and skill to be the cherished franchise left tackle the Jets desperately need. But what if Gangrene fills that need before April's draft? In March's free agency, they could consider talented but temperamental New England Patriots veteran Trent Brown. Or they could go after one of the most dominant blockers of his generation and a player destined for the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Dallas Cowboys 8-time Pro Bowl tackle Tyron Smith. Smith, a member of the NFL's 2010s All-Decade Team, is 33 and has battled injuries the past few seasons. He's missed 37 games the last 4 years for various ailments from his neck to knee to hamstring. This season he rarely practiced, but clearly saved his best for game days. He was healthy and dominant again in 2023, allowing just 18 pressures and 3 sacks on 536 pass-blocking plays according to Pro Football Focus. In 13 starts, he allowed pressure rate of 3.4%, third best among 83 qualified tackles, minimum 200 pass-blocking snaps, and second among left tackles. His performance earned him second-team All-Pro. "This is clearly his best season that I've experienced with him since 2020, said Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy after the season. So, he felt really good about that. Smith is a free agent. And the Cowboys seemingly have his heir apparent in place in Tyler Smith, who, at 22, this year made the Pro Bowl and also second-team All-Pro. Tyron Smith will be a coveted commodity if the Cowboys don't re-sign him and allow him to hit the open market. Expect the Jets to be at the top of the interested suitors. What should the Cowboys do with RB Tony Pollard? The Dallas Cowboys lack cap room, and thus the flexibility to offer free agents massive contracts. OTC estimates the Cowboys are $19.74 million over the cap, meaning the franchise must make tough decisions, letting some players walk while others stay. Perhaps the most prominent of their 16 unrestricted free agents, running back Tony Pollard. The Cowboys should not get into a bidding war to keep Pollard, wrote The Athletic's John Machota. He's a good player, but the position just doesn't have the same value anymore. If they can retain him on a team-friendly deal, it could be a smart move. Running back should be addressed somewhere in the middle of the draft, but bringing back Pollard, 26, for another year or two is not a bad idea. Dallas gave Pollard the franchise tag last offseason, paying him $10.09 million on a fully guaranteed one-year deal. Jerry Jones and company could tag him again if they don't want to commit to a long-term deal. However, when a player is tagged for a second time, it costs 120% of his salary from the previous season. Extending him could be more expensive. Per Spotrac, Pollard's market value is a 2-year deal worth $6.5 million annually, 8th at his position. Pollard didn't meet expectations in his first season as RB1 in Dallas, but he wasn't terrible. In 17 games, Pollard rushed for 1,005 yards and 6 TDs on 252 carries. Keeping him and adding a legit RB2 would fortify Dallas' ground attack, which could in turn help it end a 27-year championship drought. The San Francisco 49ers, who face the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 58 on Sunday, are third in the league in rushing yards per game, 139.7. Dallas, meanwhile, finished 15th, 113.5. And you fan, what do you think of the Tony Pollard situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.